Welcome to Near Falls with D. Hall. He's talking on bars and how they win it all. Yeah, it's just Near Falls with D. Hall. The final takedown, the glory or the fall. So loosen up, step on in, wrestle with the need to win. We're talking Near Falls with D. Hall. Ready or not, he's here to brawl.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Welcome into another edition of Near Falls with D Hall, a wrestling podcast. Today, so excited. This is the best time of year. My favorite project of the year, the 24-25 WPIAL Coaches Preview. So excited to bring this to you guys. I have a bunch of different coaches coming on from across the WPIAL. They're going to come on, talk about their schedule, expectations, up-and-comers, their leaders, their seniors, all that type of stuff. You guys know the drill. This is year 3 or 4 of me doing it. So pumped up to bring it to you guys. I really hope you enjoy it, and just hope you enjoy listening to these guys talk like I did. It was always a blast for me, and this year was no different. So without further ado, welcome in to the WPIAL Coaches Preview.
Welcome to the Near Falls WPIAL Show, where D.R. and Kaz are gonna tell you all the things you wanna know. Whether it's Trinity or Spencer Lee or Mr. Kurt Angle, just ask Vinny, where be at Ken and Mac for sure. They got the interviews to soothe your soul, because it's Near Falls in the WPIAL.
Okay, joining me now on the call, head coach of the Connellsville area Falcons, Mr. Bill Swink. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Donnie. How about yourself?
Another year down, another year starting. I'm so excited to have you on. One of my favorites, one of the best teams in the WPIAL, one of the most historic, traditional, you name it. Connellsville's got it, and we got the main man right here. I guess first things first for me, the college season is kicked off. Do you have any of how many guys do you have alumni-wise wrestling on the college scene?
I think we got 6, 7 right now. Biggest part of them are at UPJ. I think we got 5 kids up at UPJ right now, and then Jared Kessler at Pitt and Mason Prinky at Clarion. So, we got a good crew, and we've got a couple from this class that have already signed to move on after this year. So,
I did see that. Was it Mr. Petrovich just signed recently? So that's a great one pick up for Pitt there, of course.
Yeah, he's going to Pitt, and Lonzy's going to go to WVU. So
yep. Of course, I was going to get to Lonzy next. Of course, he's going down there with my buddies down there at WVU, and they got something special brewing down there, which
they're doing a good job. Both those schools are doing really good jobs. So
definitely picking up a bunch of good WPIAL kids on both sides. So I guess let's get right into that. How has the offseason program looked like for you guys? I know that you unveiled the beautiful wrestling room last year, and all that goes with that. Are you guys utilizing it this offseason?
Oh, we're utilizing it. Yeah.
Nice.
Now I'll give you an idea, because I just did it for the kids, and that's the only reason I know this pretty much off the top of my head. Since April, with our youth program, our junior high kids, our high school kids, and then, strength and conditioning, we've done about 218 workouts. So
not bad.
Been in there
quite a bit.
Yeah, and the youth are in there. They had 100 kids in there tonight. It was interesting to see, but I mean, it fits 100 of those little guys pretty well. So
heck yeah, I mean, no problem. I mean, 100 kids, and we're only at the beginning or middle of November. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Like I said, they got started this last week. Actually, they started Thursday, and then they went Monday, Tuesday, Thursday this week. They got a lot of kids. Mondays and Tuesdays they break them up. Wednesdays they do some staggered stuff, or Thursday some staggered starts. So they're all in there on Thursday at some point.
Love that. All right, so we talked about a couple guys that have signed to, obviously Lonzy and Mr. Petrovich. Are there any other leaders besides those two guys that we should look out for this year?
Yeah, and I hate to be like throw out a bunch of names, Donnie, but we only graduated one guy last year, and we got a bunch of kids that wrestled a lot of varsity matches coming back, and we got four guys that were in Hershey last year. So you got Lonzy, Vielma, Evan Petrovich. This will be their fourth year in the lineup. Heavyweight Tyler Gallus, he's been a 3-year starter, so he'll be going
I love Tyler Gallus. I was going to ask.
He'll be going for 4 there, and then we've got a great room. We really do. Kai Vielma, Nolan Rice, Tommy Gretz, Julian Ruggieri, Zach Franks, Chris Cook, Landon Lynn, Chase Sparks, Colton Torrey, Cooper Limbo. Those guys were all spent a lot of time in the lineup last year. And they're all back. So it's a good room. We didn't do anything this week. Our last preseason workout was last week, and we had like 68 kids in the room, older kids. So
is that just high school kids? 68 high school kids?
There was high school, and then there were some junior high kids in there too.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, who's some of those guys that are like dragging those guys, making sure that you're getting those numbers in the room? Is that looking like Alonzi? Is that Evan? Or do you guys? I mean, you just named me 15 guys. You can't have 15 captains. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's part of it right now too. Is we have a lot of depth.
That's awesome.
So I think kids are realizing they got to be working, because it's not just going to be, I'm the man necessarily. So. I think a lot of guys are putting extra time in to be prepared for what's going to come just in the room itself, let alone competition outside of the room. So,
love that.
Yeah, okay. So they've been pretty. I mean, I message the kids twice a week. Every Wednesday I give them a Wednesday wisdom thing, and then every Friday I send them something. So we're communicating with the kids all the time. And between the kids and a little peer pressure, I guess, and then just keep encouraging them, sending them great quotes that hopefully will motivate them to be the best that they can be, so.
Absolutely. So, on the flip side of that coin, who are some of, freshmen, newcomers, some guys that, maybe that we might look up on, Saturday afternoon and is wrestling for a place to get into the state tournament? Who's a guy like that
we got some good freshmen too, and I'll be leaving out some good sophomores that were on the junior high team. But when you send me the questions, you want to really talk about freshmen. So, but we got Luke
freshmen
Lilly,
or newcomers, either one. What I mean? Either one.
Luke Lilly and Jake Lilly. That's a good group. We got Dano Smith, another freshman. Ezra Gawatsky, Nate Foley, and then I talked to you a little bit off air. We got Jackson Mickens, hopefully, with our co-op with Geibel. He's been a very good, in the youth ranks and junior high ranks. So all those guys have been very successful coming up through. They're all freshmen. I don't know if we'll keep them all up. But there's a good likelihood we will. But we got a lot of depth from like 121 to 139. So, and a lot of those kids fall in that range. So we'll see how, when we have wrestle offs and how that all plays out and who we're going to keep where. And, but it's a good group of freshmen. I'm excited about the group.
Sounds like you got a deep team across the board. I love that. Who and what are some of the coaches that are helping you with this squad?
Yeah, I mean, we've been pretty consistent with Chad Jesko, Ashton Primus, George Harvey. They've been with me since I've got here. Mick Lilly is coming up he's been our junior high head coach. He's coming up to the high school with us now, and he was a high school coach back in the 2000s, like, when they won the PIAA, he was an assistant coach when they won states in 2005. so he's moving up. Zach Snyder comes in and helps us as a volunteer. Zach was at Mount Pleasant there for a while, and he's really good. And Mark King, Matt and Jared's dad, he's volunteering. He's coming in the room and helping. So he's a new addition there. And then Joel Martin's taken over our junior high program. He was an assistant there. And then we got the Province boys that wrestled for us. They're going to be junior high assistants, Del Rey.
That's awesome.
And Tommy. So that's pretty much our staff, and they're great. Great group of guys, and what's kind of cool, all Connellsville grads. So
I was just thinking about all that. I mean, the only ones that I know I've watched a bunch of like Ashton and stuff. I mean, he was amazing, and but Tommy and Del Rey, they wrestled my brother and Josh Barr whenever they were younger. Right. So it was cool to see those guys at the junior high tournament last year. And but yeah, man, you got a great deep family of guys. I really appreciate of course Mr. King getting out there rolling around with the kids again. That's some cool stuff.
I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he's and he has coached. He was a high school coach years and years ago. Where was it? Brookville. And then I don't know if that was before. He did a stint in Virginia in his career early on. I mean, I'm talking a long time ago, right? Right. And he did a lot of work with our youth program through the years. And then back
at it. That's awesome. I mean, hey, can't get away from it, right? One of those things.
Yeah,
I love it.
We're glad to have him around now.
Very cool, very cool. So talk to me about your schedule. What's it look like for this year? Is it typical, same as it normally is, or did you change it up a little bit?
It's changed a little bit. We're going to kick off the year at the Top Hat, which we've gone to the last 2 years. We really like that. We get to see some good squads out there, some kids that you see in Hershey, and we don't get to see a lot, with Central Mountains there, and Easton and Northampton and
Williamsport, right?
Yeah, it's a Williamsport. So there's a lot of good different kids we get to see there. So we've liked that. So that's where we'll kick it off. Our second week will be something we're doing new. We're going to travel to St. Ed's out in Ohio. Ooh, we're going to go to a quad out at St. Ed's. So
who's all there?
To Sal's. I know they got a couple.
That's a Cincinnati school, right? LaSalle's.
Yeah, down that way, and then I think Beaver Creek's the other school, which I don't know a lot about them, and then St. Ed's. So,
but you're going to wrestle St. Ed's, which is awesome.
Yeah, it will be, and the school is, everyone knows they're a wrestling school, but the atmosphere going there to wrestle, I think, will be great for our kids. And then in January, we're going down to Parkersburg, West Virginia, wrestling at Parkersburg, which is another cool storied wrestling program, right? And both these places have great fan bases, and I think it'll be kind of cool to go wrestle in both of those gyms, and be a good experience for our kids. We're going to Powerade, of course, and then we're going to go to Escape the Rock middle of January this year. So
that's a good one, man. I love that tournament.
Yeah, that's new for us as well. They'd gone, a while ago, Connellsville did, but they haven't been there in a while. So we'll get back out to Council Rock South, and again, we get to see Bethlehem Catholic there. Was one of the main reasons we wanted to go. Maybe see those guys.
I like that.
Before we get to March,
So when you build your schedule out, is it, I've talked to a few coaches. Are you looking more towards a team? Are you looking more individual? How do you build it out and ultimately try to get these guys peaked?
We're trying to do both, right?
Yeah.
I really like the team aspect of it's fun for me.
Yep.
It gives, it involves way more kids, right? So that's important to us. The whole team aspect, WPIAL team tournament, and then hopefully, well, we don't know where it's going to be this year. Team states, they don't have a site yet, so
Yeah, I've seen that.
wherever that's going to fall. And I think we build. You got to do some individual tournaments, right, to get ready for that part of the postseason. But you got to wrestle some tough duels to get ready for that other part. And if you wrestle, like you go to St. Ed's and you wrestle those guys. I mean, everyone's going to wrestle a good dude. So it's preparing you for both, right? It's preparing the team for that portion. Is preparing individuals for the postseason for them as well, because you're going to wrestle tough competition. So
Yeah.
we kind of blend it. I don't have, especially with the team we got, being a little deeper. I think doing some duels, more duels. There's a couple good quads, but we can play with our lineup a little bit too, and shuffle kids in and out. We get some more kids good dual meet experience, because that becomes important in the team portion.
I guess that rolls right into my next question there. What are some of the goals and expectations that you have for this group? I mean, obviously, you guys were one of the best teams last year. You're returning a great group, and you have one of the best junior high teams last year that is going to pump a bunch of kids into your lineup, I'm sure. So what are some of the expectations you have for this group?
Well, I have one singular goal, and that's win a state team championship.
Let's go! I love that.
And that I'd like to win two of them, right? You win the team portion and then the individual. So that's kind of our target. And we have other things that are acceptable, right? But that's what we're shooting for, and that's what we're going to strive for. That's what we're going to put the kids' mindset at. That's what we want to achieve. And then work on our attitude, our effort, and being consistent in everything that we do. I think that's important. So if your goal is to win, like Hershey, the last few years we've won a lot of matches out there, but we haven't gotten in the medal round yet. We've lost to that.
Very close.
Finished in the top 6 there, so a couple times. So we'd like to move past that. I guess that would be more specific goal. In the WPIAL, we'd like to win that again. It's tough. It's not easy. So
never is.
Not
on the WPIAL.
Not in the WPIAL, no. And the postseason is going to look a little different for us in AAA this year, with the addition of, we'll have the WPIAL tournament, and then we're going to have that regional tournament. And then I feel our section is really, really strong, coming out of that section that we're in. So, now we're going to have to see them guys potentially, some of those guys 3 weeks in a row.
Right.
So and that'll be challenging. You got to stay on top of your game, right? So hopefully our schedule will help prepare us for that.
Like it. Okay. All right. Next thing I got on the list, with the new room you guys have, what's some of the games you get into? You let them play dodgeball. What's that look like?
Yeah, I mean, our kids love dodgeball.
Gotcha.
We're gonna play in this room with the soft ones. We played with hard balls when we were up in the balcony in the old wrestling room, but we can't break things. I mean, we got TVs on the walls and things like that, so we got to tone it down. But softball, we got 3 full mats, so we'll get 3 spike ball games going on at a time.
Oh, there sometimes,
you go. Nice. And then they like to play handball too, and I do too. They get a good sweat going, doing some handball in there, and it's a long room, so they got to do a lot of running.
That's true. That's a pretty good warm up. Yeah, long. Yeah. You have 3 full mats, right?
Yeah, we have 3 full mats. So
it's crazy.
And they're end to end, so.
Yeah, you got to move. You got to move out a little bit to play that game, I guess, to get to the goals.
So yeah, they're
competitive juices get flowing, and they start running. I'm sure they get running quick.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they get a nice lather of sweat going with the handball game in there. So yeah,
good stuff. Okay, social medias. How can we follow your squad this year?
Yeah, well, I'm a we got a Facebook page that's very active. We're on Twitter, on Instagram. Those are the three that we
You guys
use.
got one of the best Facebook pages in the WPIAL. I know. What's it? Tom Rosenberry. Tom Rosenberry, I think, runs it.
Rosenberry, yeah.
I love that page. You guys do historical stuff on there, old pictures. I think you guys do a great job on there. It's really, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, we have great support in Connellsville. You know, we've got a parent booster group, which is huge and big and very supportive, and then we have what we call the Greater Connellsville Wrestling Club, which is like alumni and friends of the program. So we have two different like booster groups. Like they're going to take a charter bus out to St. Ed's.
Nice.
When we go out there, so that that's really cool.
Is that going to be able to watch that? Is it going to be a link or anything like that?
I don't know. Well, if they don't do it, we'll probably Facebook Live it.
Heck yeah.
But I don't know what St. Ed's arrangement is, but it's something I'll have to find out.
Yeah, that'd be a match I'd love to highlight and circle and check out for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. They're loaded. I mean, they
obviously they always are. I mean, they're a great squad. But I mean, you guys are one of the best teams out here in PA. It makes sense to go out there and do battle with them. So, are you guys hosting your duels again this year?
We're not. We're just doing we are the junior high version, but not the high school portion.
Gotcha.
We're doing we changed it up a little bit. We're going to host a varsity girls and a JV boys event on the same day.
Okay.
And that's going to be the day after the junior high duels. So we had been doing the high school duels, but we kind of changed that up. We've been having trouble getting some local teams who want to come down and wrestle with us. So it was hard to get some teams to come. So we just decided we'd move in with the JV and, like I said, the varsity girls. And then do the junior high. That junior high tournament's really good. The duels, it's who they got that comes in there. Chambersburg and Altoona and State College.
Mike, I'm going to add, I have Chris Smith from WSN coming on to hang out with us. I'm sure you know Smitty well.
I do. You guys are awesome, both of you, man. What you do for the sport is tremendous.
Coach, thank you so much. Those are just music to my ears right there. Thank you so much for all you do. Don't let me interrupt. Keep going where you were going there, though.
No, we pretty much were almost at the end there, Smitty. We were just running down his schedule and, how they prepared. They're going out to St. Ed's this year. How about that?
Coach, can't hide from competition, right? You want to be the best, you got to go beat the best.
You got to find out what you got. Yeah. So
exactly. I mean, I'll never forget being at the Connellsville duels, and I'm going to call it out. Team stepped down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it out right now. You don't step down from competition just because of rankings or seedings.
No.
You be the best, you have to go beat the best.
We do. And sometimes we scout our opponents and things, but like we go to a tournament, the kids, they all know each other, right? And there's so much video out there and stuff, but I don't even look at who they're wrestling. They're going to wrestle the next guy coming up. Now, when we get to the postseason, we'll look at it because there has a little more to it, right? But you're trying to advance and get to Hershey. But during the year, you just want to wrestle the best competition that you can. So
that's right, Coach. I have one question before we let you go.
Sure.
This says near the end. What do you do in the off season? Like, what's your favorite things to do? I need to know about your hobbies.
Hobbies, wrestling. So
you're in duck doubles on Mrs. Swank.
My wife and I have been married quite a while now. So
how long?
We 34.
Let's go. That's awesome. I just got to 6. So and hoping to keep it moving.
She can run tournaments on track wrestling. She's
true wrestling.
It's one of those relationships. You're like, November 1st, you're like, honey, I'll see you in March.
Yeah. No,
she's probably right there with him.
Yeah, we're wrestling all the time, and she enjoys it as well. She's been very supportive through all the years, and what are my hobbies? It's wrestling. I mean, I was telling Donnie a little bit ago. I said, with that new room we opened up, and since April, with our youth kids and then strength conditioning, our junior high and our high school kids, we've done close to 218 workouts since April. So
who's counting when you say 218?
218
days.
Yeah.
That's so many days that they have it booked out of the room. Like so many times people were in that room, which is
Coach,
crazy.
Yeah,
I got to dig deeper.
some days we got three workouts, 3 different groups will come in some days. So
I got to dig deeper though, and I'm not going to let you get away with the wrestling thing.
Okay.
You've been married for 38?
34.
34. Yeah. Walter Payton's number. Remember that, Walter Payton, one of the greatest ever. You have children, grandchildren?
I have one daughter, no grandchildren.
No grandchildren, but there's got to be something outside of wrestling that makes your clock tick.
Huh.
This is where you say, Mrs. Swink.
Oh, my wife, yeah. No, I do. I like playing with we got a couple of beagles that we play with.
There you go.
You're a dog guy.
Yeah, I love dogs.
Are you a hunter?
Used to be, until when I moved to Virginia, I kind of I didn't stop, but I didn't know the lay of the land, and I'm coaching football, wrestling, and track at that time, and I was like, I didn't want to really spend the time to learn it. I ended up having one of my assistants. That's all he does is hunts and fishes from Virginia. So, and then everybody up here hunts, which.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure a few Connellsville boys do that.
I still like to hang out with some of those guys and listen to their stories, and I don't do a whole lot anymore.
You segued me into a great question. I'm interrupting you because right now, football and wrestling, you coach both. Talk about the importance of some of the football coaches not understanding the importance of letting their kids get on the mat in the winter season. Whether you're a great football player, terrible wrestler, or vice versa, talk about the importance, the energy around that.
Sure. And there's a lot of people smarter than me that have said this, but, there is nothing better for a football player in the off season than to wrestle. I think it's very important, just the push-pull coordination, pummeling, hand fighting, all that, trying to get under the guy. So whether you're an offensive player or defensive player, it's advantageous for you to be on the mat and wrestle. And then, everybody knows this. And if you played football and wrestled, you really know it. You think you're in shape when you play football, and then you get on the wrestling mat and you feel like you're going to die. So, the conditioning that you get out of it, we lift 2 days a week all season long. So we don't ever take time off. It's very important. In the off season, we lift 3 days a week. And we take very little time off. We take a week after the season. We take 2 weeks in August and a week before the season starts. And other than that, we're working for it. But it goes really well, and it doesn't matter what position you play. A lot of people think, well, linebackers and linemen, right? But wide receivers, quarterbacks. When I was in Virginia, I had 3 kids that were outstanding wrestlers for us that were starting quarterbacks on a football team. And all 3 of them also played strong safety and quarterback and wrestled. So, they played. You don't see a lot
smart
of
athletes.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I coached at Shadyside Academy while you were down in Virginia. Thank goodness I didn't have to compete against you.
Thanks.
And when I was at Shadyside, we had his last name was Farrell, Mike Farrell, and he went on to Penn State, and now he's playing in the league. And he was an excellent, he was destined to play football, but he stepped onto the mat with our heavyweight. He just came in to get the workouts. We were able to convince him when Tim Gill was there. We had 5 stud heavyweights, and just come in and work out.
Sandoval.
And learn that hand fight, that balance, that agility, that one-on-one fight, which is what led him to the league. One of the greatest ever, John Madden. said, I'll always recruit a wrestler.
Right.
And you can always pick out a DB when they come up for a tackle out in the open, coach, because what do?
Oh, yeah.
Low double, baby, right?
Low double.
Yes, sir.
When I was in Virginia, Bud Foster from Virginia Tech, he recruited our area. And, I was really good friends with Kevin Dresser when he was in Virginia. Well, I still am, but, we wrestled each other all the time when he was at Christiansburg. And, Bud and him became friends when Kevin went to Virginia Tech. So Bud always made sure he found me when he came up to recruit, and we'd always talk. And but he emphasized that I like to recruit wrestlers. He said that's what I want on my defensive side of the football, And we have a lot of kids right now that are playing football.
Right. So, it's instinctive on that side of the football. They just
100%. And then you look at some of these offensive linemen that are playing right now, right?
Yep. Kansas City's offensive lineman,
Frazier, the Steelers, and
yep.
And then you look at Stephen Neal. I mean, he didn't play any football until he got to the Patriots in the league, and he's an All-Pro and winning Super Bowls.
I'm pretty sure he's wearing more rings than I have held up.
So
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. So it really is a tremendous help. If I was a football coach, I would tell my kids to wrestle. When I coached football back in the day, like all our offensive and defensive linemen wrestled. And like you were saying, most of them didn't wrestle to be a wrestler. They wrestled to get better at football. They weren't there to, not all of them. Some of them were. Some of them were very competitive wrestlers. But, the others, they were there to get better, make themselves better.
No doubt.
Coach, thank you so much. Go ahead, D-Hall.
I was just going to wrap it up too. Coach, thank you so much for hanging out with us and, enduring Smitty's endless energy as he jumps on there with the bombardment of questions. So it's good stuff, though. But no, thank you so much. I'm sure, we'll watch you guys down the line. You have one of the best teams in the WPIAL, one of the best teams in the state, and I always appreciate what you guys do. And good luck the rest of the season.
Hey, thanks, guys. And hey, I'm serious. What you guys do is phenomenal. It helps promote the sport of wrestling tremendously, and I really appreciate it. Kudos to you guys.
No, thank you, Coach
so
Schwenk.
Yep,
keep fighting the good fight. You keep doing the same thing. Appreciate you.